Welcome to Moose Emeritus. I'm Moose. So, it is post-election day. I'll try and move outside the photo. That's where my nickname came from, just so you know. So it's post-election day. I should say the first day I just listened to Kamala Harris's concession speech, which was a half hour late. Yeah, a lot to unpack there. So regardless of which side won, the one thing I think that I actually appreciated her message, she said a peaceful transition of power and not going to contest and all these other things. Thinly veiled jab, I think, at Donald Trump, but is what it is. There's a lot of people right now who are very happy and gloating because, hey, their president won. There's a lot of people who are sad. I think there's a lot more people on that camp right now, predominantly because for the last 4 years, people who have been on the left have gotten used to the idea of calling Trump and that party and anybody who supports him racists, homophobes, Nazis, Hitler, name your other ist or ism, whether or not that's true. And now, when they're faced with the fact that over 5 million people in the popular vote and a multitude of states in what we consider a landslide election have basically confirmed that they don't believe with that ideology anymore, and that the party's rhetoric no longer hits that same note, they're having a crisis of faith, a crisis of consciousness, because wait a second, did our country just vote for literal Nazis or Hitler or all these other horrible things? Or was it all vitriol? Was it all BS? And that's the problem with propaganda, is that you believe it so fervently that there are literally suicide hotline groups right now. Why? If Trump had done it and there were suicide hotline groups for Trump supporters, I would ask the same question. Why? Our country is built on a system of checks and balances, and it is incumbent upon people to put those checks and balances in and for them to do their job. Now, whether or not they've been done in the last several years is arguably something that's kind of outside the scope of this video. But should there have been a need for it, there has been. It hasn't always worked. You know, there's a lot of things that took going all the way to the Supreme Court. Some of them took years. I am hoping, beyond hope, because I haven't seen any riots, burning of cities. I am hoping that I was wrong in my initial prediction that we don't see any of that violence, because that's something that I would have predicted would have come with the current outcome with the election. That's something that I told people to get prepared for, regardless of which side won. Now, does that mean that if you are a Trump supporter that you should rest on your laurels because, hey, we're good? No. I think we just got to delay. We have 4 more years to prepare. You have four more years, in my opinion, to prepare if that's your particular party that you believe in. That hopefully we will not be in wars. We will not be doing all the crazy stuff we're doing. And I think that that's a huge deal. You got 4 more years. How much more food can you put away? How much more debt can you pay off? How much better can you get at gardening? How much more land can you find and acquire and build a life on? And then if you think that Trump really is all these things that the left said he is, Hitler and whatnot, and we're all coming for you. Small tangent. I literally saw in a group that somebody talked about, well, what do? I have a disabled son now that he's in. And the group asked, like, what do you mean? It's not like he's outlawing people with disabilities. Well, yeah, he is. He'll get rid of them. What? That's the level of depth that you believe this stuff? But if you truly believe it, if that's your thing, then cool. This is your clarion call. This is your call to start preparing. Now, why do I want both sides to prepare? I believe in American exceptionalism. I believe that regardless of which side of the aisle you stand on, which person you choose to marry, regardless of where you stand on issues, that when push comes to shove, like it did on September 12th, 2001, we were all Americans. We all came together. This world is not always a very nice place. Be it Mother Nature, which is currently pouring down rain outside again, which I'm hoping doesn't knock over some of the trees that are still leaning and cause more power outages. Whether it's Mother Nature, I had people that I hadn't talked to in months calling saying, "Hey, do you need some help? How can we help?" Years. I had somebody I haven't seen this person since 2021. Called me up out of the blue. "Hey, I know you're in the area. Do you need help?" So whether it's the hurricanes that come out of nowhere, whether it's political instability, whether or not you think that there's a risk for China or Russia or any of these other things, I want Americans in general to be prepared, because you know what? If you're more prepared, the people who can't do it, who are physically unable to do it, now my tax dollars, my abilities to help them go much further, because now they don't have to worry about your stuff. You're good. You're taken care of. You have food. You have water. I don't have to worry about your house. I can go to the next one, which means that those resources that we have go further. And if you're squared away, odds are you're going to take care of your neighbor next door. You're going to figure that out. I've watched this firsthand going through Hurricane Helene, where we literally had neighbors helping neighbors. And it was awesome. It was fantastic. So if you really think that Trump's Hitler or the Antichrist, whatever you want to call him, or if you think Trump is the second coming, or I don't care really what your political views are, I really am looking for you to try and prepare yourselves, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't. And I want you to look at preparedness as a way of making sure that you're perpetuating normalcy for those you love and for taking care of one another. That's all for now. Stay safe out here.